What is up, ladies and gentlemen? But most of all, you ladies out there, thanks for clicking on another episode of Break the Silence. I am your host, Cyborg, because if you don't break the silence will break you. We got a banger for you today, and I'm super pumped to do so because it's our first real NFL topic. We're talking a little NFL receivers because Madden just released their ranking of their top 10 receivers in this upcoming game, Madden 23. And it was a horrible list. So I was sitting at work, minding my own business, just minding my own business. And I see this list get sent to me of the top 10 receivers in Madden. And I'm looking through it and I'm like, okay. And you're looking for certain names, kind of seeing where they land. I'm like, wait a minute. A guy's missing from this, and I bet you know who it is because he's probably going to be the thumbnail of this video, but we're going to get into that. First, please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing super fast, so please take a second to like and subscribe. We're going to talk a ton NFL. We're going to talk a ton more NBA. I'm looking forward to it all. Appreciate you guys and all the support we've had so far. So let's keep growing and keep grinding together. But let's start with this. The media in general, social media, sports media, movie media, video game media, is so into hot takes and doing crazy things to create buzz around their product. When you look at it, let's go to movies for a second. Sonic. If you remember when that first trailer was released and Sonic looked terrible, the entire world blew up talking about how terrible Sonic looked. And it was all over social media. It was all over the media. It was just being talked about like crazy. And I think the creators of that movie might have did that on purpose because it created so much buzz around the movie. So you knew it was coming out. And then it came out and did well in the box office. You might disagree with me on that, but that is my theory on that. And then when you're looking at it from a sports takes perspective, you have a lot of guys who are just saying wild things just to get you to click on their video, to comment on their video, because likes and dislikes help someone. Comments of any kind help someone on their video and growing. So you have so many people who will say just wild, outlandish things. For instance, there was a guy on ESPN the other day that said Steph Curry is the second greatest player of all time. There's no argument for that. Steph Curry is an awesome basketball player. Not here to hate on Steph. I actually have him in my top 10. Go watch that video. But he's not second all time. There's no way you can argue that. And then they also argue, there was another guy on ESPN, and I'm not here to call certain people out because on this channel, I'm not trying to hate on players. I'm not trying to hate on analysts, anything like that. But said CeeDee Lamb was easily a top 10 receiver, had him way above Keenan Allen. And that's clearly just someone who, one, is either just trying to say outlandish things, or two, just simply doesn't watch the sport all that much, which I think there's a good amount of both. So let's get into it a little bit here. There were two major problems with this list. The list went Devantae Adams at a 99, Cooper Kupp at a 98, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, and Amari Cooper of my Cleveland Browns. Now of my Cleveland Browns. The first big problem is how in the world is Cooper Kupp not a 99? Now, we have this problem where if a guy wasn't drafted high, or we have a preconceived notion in our head of a guy, that it's way harder for them to prove their value than it is someone else. Cooper Kupp this year, wrote down some stats here, had 1,947 yards, second all time, had 16 touchdowns, which led the league, and 145 catches. So he won the Triple Crown, leading in all three statistical categories. He was the Super Bowl MVP. He was also the Offensive Player of the Year. He was 17 yards away from the most receiving yards all time, which was held by Megatron. And when you look at it and you break it down, Cooper Kupp had a top 5 receiver year from a receiver of all time. Some of the other names that are in that list, Megatron, like we just mentioned, in 2012 when he broke the all-time receiving record. Randy Moss in 2007 when he played with Tom Brady and they were undefeated, had so many touchdowns they did lose in the Super Bowl. Jerry Rice in 1995, that was his top receiving year. Cooper Kupp, and then I'm not even sure who's number 5. Isaac Bruce had some crazy years. Antonio Brown and Julio Jones both had some incredible years. And you might be able to look at guys like Michael Irvin, Sterling Sharp. There's other guys that had great years. Stats weren't as inflated back in the 80s and 90s when they didn't throw the ball as much as they do today. But there is no way that you can tell me that Cooper Kupp doesn't deserve to be a 99. A lot of people would push back and say that Cooper Kupp plays from the slot a lot. I don't care where you play from. If you go for 1,900 yards and you win the Super Bowl MVP, that's all I ask of you. If you get that every year, you deserve to be a 99 in my book, and he deserves to be a 99 on Madden. It is ridiculous that they have him one short. I don't know what else you have to do as a receiver to get that 99 rating. Next one, the clear omission from this list that had everyone talking, and really I'm still not fully understanding. Ja'Marr Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Ja'Marr Chase was a rookie last year. He broke the all-time rookie receiving yards record with, I didn't write it down. It's 1,400 something yards, but he was fourth in the league in yards, third in the league in touchdowns, fifth in yards per game. I don't know how you argue that Amari Cooper, even as a Browns fan, I don't know how you argue that Amari Cooper is better than Ja'Marr Chase. I don't know what Madden is saying. Are they trying to say that because Ja'Marr is young, that he needs to do more? But I think if you're looking at it from there's just no way that Ja'Marr Chase is not top 10. In fact, I don't think Ja'Marr Chase is outside of the top 5. If you look at everything that Ja'Marr does well, he's fast, he's got good hands, he's a great route runner, he's really hard to tackle. I don't know what else you ask from him. He led his team to a Super Bowl last year and broke the all-time rookie receiving record. And he was top 5 in three of the major categories. So what exactly do you want Ja'Marr Chase to do? And again, I think this is Madden potentially creating some buzz around their games by releasing some garbage lists. Amari Cooper last year played 15 games, had 865 yards. Amari Cooper, just for your information, has never had as many receiving yards in a season as Ja'Marr had last year in his rookie year. Amari Cooper has had Dak Prescott, who throws for a lot of yards, for his career. The other names, Terry McLaurin, I don't know how he's over Ja'Marr Chase. And like I talked about earlier, I'm not here to tear down Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans. I think all those guys are fantastic players. DeAndre Hopkins, he's great when he's healthy, but he was out all last year and he's going to be out for a lot of this year. So he's a little hard one for me to look at. But in my personal opinion, you could go Devontae, Cooper, Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, and Ja'Marr Chase. Those got to be your top 5 in my opinion. Stephon Diggs maybe is right there because he's an absolute stud, but he kind of had a down year and didn't produce at the level of these other guys. So these lists just drive me nuts. And I know that lists aren't interesting and shows aren't interesting if people are accurate and say things that are facts and say things that are, correct. And that's what I'm trying to do here on this show. I'm trying to present it in an entertaining way, but also, say things that are truthful and not just things that are going to make you argue with me and get mad at me and disagree. Because I think if anyone is looking at it realistically, Ja'Marr Chase, there's no way he's not a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. There's just no way around that. There's no way he's not top 10 ranking. There's no way you can argue that. And there's no way that Cooper Kupp's not a 99 overall. I appreciate you taking a second to watch the channel. We're going to keep dropping some NFL content. We'll release a lot of rankings. I every year, and I haven't even been doing videos for this. I'm just a freak. I've ranked all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'm going to do it again this year, and I'll drop it on the channel. All 32 quarterbacks from worst to best. And then we'll also do teams, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Please take a second to like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching. Cyborg out.